Yo, good looks to dreadsock.com for sponsoring this episode of Real Notes. Anyone who has curly or locked hair like me knows how sacred a good hair wrap is. A do-rag, a wave cap, a scarf, a bandana, a bonnet, you name it. Dreadsock goes a step beyond the average with silk-based head wraps that offer full protection and frizz control for curls from 2A to 4C. They're made of a blend of breathable materials to help retain hair's moisture and preserve hairstyles enough to ensure a few less trips to the salon, all held down with an elastic band strong enough to withstand even the most aggressive head trips. Whether you wear one to bed or wear one on the go, Dreadsock will have you looking fresh and full. Socks come in all sizes, from shorties for short hair and beginner twists to extra large for the longer locked folks out there. Look, y'all, I've been growing my locks for nearly 2 decades and have been a loyal Dreadsock customer for 15 years. So when I tell you these shits work, I'm dead ass. Plus, they're an independent, black-owned business that's worth the time and energy. So go to dreadsock.com and use promo code CineMasai, that's CineMasai, for 10% off your first order. They won't fall off in your sleep, but they will keep you looking fresh. Thanks again to Dreadsock for sponsoring the episode. Now let's keep this shit moving. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is Ohio-based rapper and producer Kipp Stone. We spoke about where the wild things are, the Transformers franchise, Soul, Little Bear, being inspired by his surroundings, how long it took him to find his musical style, joining up with, leaving, and rejoining closed sessions, the art of saying more with less words, and the creative process behind his latest album, 66689 Blvd Prequel. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back. Damn, I fucked up. One more time. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Real Notes. Closing in on the end of the year. Free Palestine, free Tigray, free the Congo, free Haiti, free all oppressed peoples all around the world. Fuck is you talking about? Dylan Green, CineMasai, got a lot of names, do a lot of shit, be outside, inside, warm, cold, eating, not eating, watching, not watching, listening, not listening. I'm here with somebody who's been real busy. He's been working at this shit for he's been grinding for a minute, and things have really been starting to pay off with this beautiful new album. He dropped it's been about almost like been like a month and a half, I think, since the project's been out. He's a Cleveland representative. He's a rapper. He's a poet. Y'all can't see him, but he's snug in a hoodie. It looks like he's wearing a bonnet, but he's not wearing a bonnet. His music can kind of feel like a bonnet to me sometimes, just in the sense of like it's like you want to get comfy at 12:45 and like think about like the devastating impact of racism and capitalism before you go to sleep. It's not all that. It's not all that, obviously, but that's just where my brain goes sometimes. We got Kipp Stone. Kipp Stone is here. 66689 Blvd Prequel has been out for about a month and a half. It's really beautiful, and this brother's been working at this shit forever, and I'm really happy to see people like on the grind and paying attention. So Kipp, thank you for being here, man. I'm sorry I'm talking so much.
It's all good, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah,
I almost cut you off when you was doing the intro because you was like, CineMasai, be outside, be inside, be outside. That shit rhymed. I'm like, you low-key spitting right now.
I've been practicing, man. I'm just trying to catch up with y'all, you know. But yo, we you and I met for the first time in person. We were talking about it off camera in 2022 at Dorian's at the Alchemist Legend Conversation in Chicago. I've been a fan of yours before that. You know, I think Home was my first real exposure to your work, and it's, you know, like your writing is so layered and so textured, and there's just like you say so much with so little, and it really, 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 really fascinates me. I'm jacking it a ton, so it's really cool to see you. It's been dope to kind of chart your growth over the course of the last like 3, 4, 5 years, and just be here to see, this culmination happening for you. So just congrats first and foremost on all this shit, for real.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, nah, absolutely. And yeah, nah. So let me ask you. The first question I ask everybody who comes on here, which is what was the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
Man, 'cause I rewatch movies all the time. The last, probably either Where the Wild Things Are or The Green Book.
Oh shit, man! Where the Wild Things Are was one of my like when I saw it, it was my favorite movie of all time for like 3 months.
Dude, it's still up there for me, man. That movie is that I man, that movie touched me right here.
Damn. So how recently did you rewatch it?
Uh, when I yesterday actually, because you know, but yeah, I was watching that shit yesterday. Every time I watch that movie, I either almost break into tears or I do fully break into tears. That movie is crazy.
Yeah, it's like there's a like the one scene I always think about whenever that pops into my head is the scene where like everything kind of starts to break down, and the James I'm forgetting all the monsters' names, but the one voiced by James Gandolfini and then the Eagle one are having an argument, and then he winds up ripping the Eagle guy's arm off, and he's just and like you think he's gonna be like, he's just like, that was my favorite arm, why'd you rip that off? And it's just that shit always fucks me up so bad.
The dialogue in that movie is crazy because it's just like they just say the friedest shit ever. But I do that man. That was the because I what I when I whenever I show people that movie or talk about that movie or anybody that knows that movie, I always ask them like, which of the monsters do they relate with the most?
Damn. So now I gotta know, which of the monsters do you relate with the most?
Carol, the one who ripped the dude's arm off,
Right, his
and
name's Carol. Okay, yeah.
then he don't even have line. He only talked one time in the movie. That big quiet ox thing.
Uh huh.
He just always just be in the cut, just chilling. So I would have probably those two.
Yeah, yeah. No, I wanna say I'm trying to remember the Billy Goat's name because I feel like I think he's the fuck is his name, Alexander. Yeah, the one voiced by Paul Dano. So I would say I'm a combo of Alexander and the big guy too. Because like sometimes I'm like like sometimes I just keep to myself and I'm quiet, and then other times I feel like I could be like a rambunctious like little, like I'm 31 and I still feel like a scamp. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it other than that.
That's why that movie, man. That's why that movie be hitting so hard. Because I think I don't know if those monsters were supposed to represent how he deal with what's going on in his life or if they represent his emotions. I've always been torn between those two, but in either case, that's a heavy movie to watch.
Yeah, like, cause I mean, I mean to address that directly, I always kind of felt like they were his. I always felt like they were his. I feel like it's both, honestly, because like you look at because like I feel like Alexander is the one who's like the most directly like Max as like a person, and like a personality type, just like the energy and just like the like I want things to be better. I feel like I have no sense of control, and then like Carol is like the leader, but they all look at Max as the leader. Like Max is kind of like he's kind of like their parent, and like he's having this whole thing where he's like rebelling against his mom, and he goes away to this place where like there these like manifestations of his emotions are like things that he can control and just kind of like lead them a place, and like they all want him. They're like looking for somebody. They're all looking for direction in some way, but like it's so layered, and so like I remember reading the book when I was younger and like thinking to myself like, how would this get made into a movie? You know, like
Yeah.
cause like I love the visual style, and I love just like the, you know, like the book's like 10 pages long or whatever, and it's just there's
Hmm.
so much in that book that, like, you know, just like packing so much into such a tight space is really tough, and they like turned it into a,
It's crazy
yeah,
that they turned that book into that movie.
yeah.
Like I don't know however did they like make that play or make that, you know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy.
Yeah, nah, it's like, cause the guy who wrote the screenplay, I think he had like I think he wrote it out as a short story that was more about Max, and then they might have like, and I think they like combined his short story with the Where the Wild Things Are, like the original. Maybe I don't know, don't quote me on that, but like I know they released like a book version of it, like a novelization of it, and I really want to give that a read just to see. Like, but yeah, no, that was a head bust when I first saw it. And when did that come out? Oh, nine, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So what inspired you to go back to that? Because like that's a you got to be in a space to be watching Where the Wild Things Are. Like,
Dude, cause man, I don't call me. I just love a sad ass movie, dude. That's really all it is. I love a sad ass movie, and that I always. But I rewatch movies all the time. I watch like the same movies pretty much all the time. Like
mm,
every now and you know, obviously when something new come out and it's like, oh, you got to watch this.
yeah.
But in my everyday, I'm watching some shit I already watched.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro. It's so easy to just like fall into those, you know, like whether like I also like a sad ass movie. Like it's like almost comforting, you know, just like in the sense of like I wanna feel something tonight.
Yeah,
You know, like it's a weird feeling, but one that I relate to 100%. What are some other like comfort movies of yours that like really? What else do you find yourself like? I know you mentioned Green Book before, and you're talking about like the Mahershala Ali for Farrelly brothers Green Book, right? Or is that a different movie
I don't
I'm
even know
thinking
the
of?
actor's name, but it's about a pianist and they
Yeah,
and
that's the
like
one.
they yeah, okay,
That's the
yeah,
one.
and they
Yeah.
yeah. That movie, that's just a fire movie. But the last fire, well, one of my main comfort movies is Princess Mononoke.
Ooh. See,
That
that's
movie is amazing.
yeah. Like that movie is every emotion at once, you know. It's like five different kinds of movies all rolled into one. You know, like it's because like it's an action movie, it's a historical drama. There's a little bit of romance in there. Like once again, there's a lot of movie in that movie.
Yeah, dude, it's like a thing about environmentalists, like environmentalism
Uh-huh.
and shit. Like it's some keys, and it's some keys in that movie. Like it's
Yeah.
some crazy ass keys in that movie,
Like
and the
keys is in
animation is fire.
keys is in like life lessons type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I love a movie with a good soundtrack. That's another thing that made me like Where the Wild Things Are is because of the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, nah, cause when I first saw Where the Wild Things Are, like I knew about Karen O and the kids and the yeah yeah yeahs and all that, but like I went and like downloaded the soundtrack and like listened to it pretty crazy for a couple years after that. Like
Same.
and you know, like the whole soundtrack is just like her just like cooing over fucking guitars and then like little kids and choirs. That's all it is, you know. It's
It's
but like
man,
it hits like
it do. I love Karen O, man. And the Hideaway, I love that song, dude.
hmm
I might have to
yeah.
listen to that today.
Yeah. No, it definitely might be time to run it back and just like the little do 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 do, just ugh. Simple ass melodies like that, man. Like there's a that like once again, like that's how you know somebody's really good at this music shit, or just like anything. Period. When they can just like take something so simple and like infuse it with so much meaning, and just like, you know, like that's like the refrain that goes throughout the whole movie. It's interpreted in like six different ways. Like I love stuff like that. Like I love, and Spike Jonze made Where the Wild Things Are too, and I'm a big Spike Jonze fan. I love Being John Malkovich, which is another very melancholy and super sad ass movie if you ever seen it. But
Mm-mm. I thought it
oof,
was.
yeah,
I thought Maurice Sendak did it. I don't know where I got that from.
no, he's the Maurice Sendak. He wrote the book, and he was like involved in the movie somehow. I can't remember how exactly, but he might have like produced it or maybe like co-wrote it or something like that. Let me see. I think I have the shit open. Yeah, no, Spike Jonze directed it and him and Dave Eggers wrote it. Yeah, no, Maurice Sendak produced the movie, but I don't think he had any other involved. Well, I mean, like he was pretty involved since he produced it, but he was in there.
Yeah, Maurice Sendak is fire, man. Shout out to Little Bear.
Yeah. Oh, he did
That's
Little Bear too?
yeah, Little Bear and
Yeah.
Little Bear is Little Bear is one of the coldest like kid shows ever. Like when I have kids, I'm going to force them to watch Little Bear. That man, that show is so fire. I actually was just watching Little Bear like last night
Where'd you find it? Where can you watch Little Bear in 2023?
on Noggin.
mm. hmm Okay, that makes sense. Like yeah, right, because Noggin has the they got a streaming service. There was I was I can't believe we're going here right now. I just like maybe like a couple weeks ago, I watched this YouTube video about you ever watch the show Ubi with the hand puppet hands?
Uh, I'm trying to see it. I feel like I've heard that name before, but I've probably never seen it.
So for you and for anybody else listening who may or may not remember, Ubi was this show where like a bunch of puppeteers who had like worked on like Sesame Street and the Muppets and shit, they came together and the idea was that instead of using like felt puppets, they used their hands. So like they would put like eyeballs in like between their knuckles and like and like every one of the hands, like all the characters were hands that had eyeballs and they would like literally do this and like talk like this and like the young ones kind of had their fingers straight and flexed or the young ones had their fingers like this and the older ones had their fingers flexed like that to make them look like gums and shit. It was really fucking weird and like they all talked in it was all like super simple sentences. It'd be like Ubi play, Ubi do, and it was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in my life. It's super cool. And like one of those things kind of like Little Bear where you go back and watch it and be like, huh, like somebody like did that. Like and like I feel like this is already becoming a theme, like really simple idea of just like these like young kids and these older people who are hands and they just like talk simply like I found that on Noggin too. And I watched a couple episodes and I was just like, yo, like this shit is like it's just one of those things where it's like you go back and rewatch it after like 15, 20 years. And it's like, damn, I don't know.
We
I've
had some great
been
shows.
yeah. Yeah, no, I say all of that to say that I've been on that type of time as well recently.
Yeah, we had some really great shows, especially as kids.
Yeah, man. How'd you feel about Franklin?
I love Franklin.
Yeah.
All of that, bro. All that Nick Jr. shit, man. Franklin, Oswald, Max and Ruby, Little Bear. What I'm missing something. Kipper the dog.
Wow. Oh man, that's a deep cut.
Kipper the dog was that was a fire ass show.
What was it about Little Bear in particular that really like stuck with you?
I don't know. I always had an obsession with bears and shit when I was a kid. Like I just always, and even today I love bears. And so like Pooh Bear, like
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh, like that was my nickname as a kid, Pooh Bear.
Oh, word.
And yeah, I had the lunchbox with the like Winnie the Pooh oatmeal and all that shit. And I don't know, Little Bear, it was just so common, and it just reminded me of my grandma because we always used to watch it with my grandma. So like
There it is.
I'll be watching Little Bear, and my grandmother would be like cooking or doing some shit. Like it's like what's happening in Little Bear is happening right now. Like his mom taking care of them and doing all that kind of shit. Like, so yeah, and it's just like it's such a calming show. Like when you watch it, like I don't know if they did that on purpose just to sit these kids the fuck down, but
Right.
like it's just such a calm, just relaxing show to watch. Like everything about
Right.
it, the way they talk, the music, the way it's drawn, the setting, the fact that it's a bunch of bears, like a bunch of fuzzy ass bear, like it's just a good show.
Yeah, no, and on top of that, like the color palettes, like it's not muted, but it's like real subtle, like like it's
Mm.
not like super duper like saturated with like fucking like purples and pinks. It's all kind of like browns and like muted greens and like a lot of like forest and like a lot of guitars on the soundtrack.
It's
Like,
like an oil painting or something. It's like a Bob Ross painting, but a cartoon.
oh hell yeah. Oh, that's such a good way to put it. Yeah, no, it is hella calming. It's like now you got me thinking about it. You ever see the Disney movie Brother Bear before?
Yeah, dude. So I was picking up I was I was getting my girl some Starbucks the other day, and I was the lady that was making the coffee, like she had a tattoo on her arm, like a bear on her arm, and I'm looking, I'm like, for like 10 minutes, I'm just staring at her arm, looking weird as fuck. And then she handed me the coffee, and I'm on my way out the door, and and something in my head was like, "Bro, you cannot leave here without asking her if that's the case." So I was like, "Is that Kenai on your arm from Brother Bear?" And she was like, "No, this is from so and so so so." I'm like, "Oh fuck, you just ruined the whole
Damn.
moment. Just fucking ruined it." But yeah, like no, Brother Bear is a banger. Again, I'm obsessed with bears, dude.
What is it? What is it about bears? What do you love so much about bears? I get
I
it, but
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Or maybe it's just fuzzy shit because we got the Where Wild Things Are, Brother Bear, Little Bear.
yeah.
I just love bears.
Oh, that's cool as hell. What were coming up, what was the first movie experience you can remember having? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. Like the first thing that comes to mind for you.
Lion King.
Yeah, sounds
I
about
re-
right.
we watched Lion King, and me and my little cousin was not my little cousin, me and my big cousin was acting out when Simba found Mufasa dead,
Mm.
and I bit the fuck out of my cousin's ear. Like I bit his ear hard as fuck. He started crying, and we got in trouble.
In the theater?
No, at home.
Oh, okay.
I bit the shit
Son,
out of his ear.
why?
Cause remember, Simba like was tugging at his ear, trying to get him to get up.
Oh yeah, okay. You still tripping?
I went there, man. He wasn't trying to go there with me, bro.
No, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I I feel I feel like I was thinking about this the other day too, because for some reason I've only seen it one time, but I was thinking about that first Transformers movie, the one that came out in like the 80s, where
Hmm.
Orson Welles was Unicron. Weird ass movie. But like a lot of people older than us talk about like Optimus Prime dying as like one of their first childhood moments of like just like emotionally devastating, like damn, like he's gone, this is sad type shit. And I think for us, our like a lot of our first was watching Mufasa die and
Yeah,
watching Simba try to wake Mufasa up. Like that was like a collective scarring for like everyone born in like the 90s and the early 2000s. Like that's our Optimus Prime,
yeah.
like
Anybody that loved Disney, because somebody always died in a Disney movie, and
always.
it always happened early as fuck. Like the first 10 minutes, somebody just died, and we just.
Right.
Speaking of Transformers, Transformers is my favorite franchise.
Oh, word?
Yeah, it's like my favorite. Like of all the DC comics and Marvel and all that, Transformers is my favorite.
Damn. So okay. So when did that start?
And whenever the first one was Shia LaBeouf and Bumblebee, because
Mm,
I'm terrible with dates, but I just always love the Transformers movies.
man, I um, I'm trying to. where did I want to go with that? So those movies look great. I remember seeing the first one in theaters and like being just super entertained just based off of the like the robots looked amazing and they still do, you know, like all those movies, they look fantastic. I remember so many people did not like those movies when they came out. Like it was just, I mean, like for a period of time, I might have been one of them, but I was also just like so like, you know, like I kind of took myself out of it to just kind of look at it as a movie, but I would go in and just be like, but they look so good, like I don't give a fuck, you know, like I would just watch them anyway. But like what was it about those movies for you that really that really just like clicked in your brain? Because yeah.
Cause for a while, Shia LaBeouf was my favorite actor.
Hmm.
Um, and then really Optimus Prime, man. Like I swear to God, like every now and again, I just like look up some of like Optimus Prime speeches because like man, I don't know what it is about that nigga and his voice, but dude, every time I hear that, the one, the one, I forget what it was, the Age of Extinction, where they bought the Megazords in,
Yeah, I think that was Age of
and
Extinction.
he let him free, and he was like legendary warrior. I was like, oh shit. And then he beat his ass and was like, "You either stand with my family or you die." I'm like, "Oh, it's so gangster." That was so gangster. I love the Transformers movies, man. I love it.
Yeah, nah, it's oh man, I'm blanking on bro's name, but he's been voicing Optimus Prime for like 30, 40 years, something crazy like that, you
Yeah,
know? And
I know who
like,
you're talking
yeah,
about. I can't think of his name though.
yeah, you know, his voice, you know, the voice is everything. I love like yeah, just like the, you know, just like the rallying nature behind Optimus's whole shit is really great. You seen the new one that came out earlier this year?
No, I still gotta see it. I need to like buy it or something. So because I wanted to see it in theaters, but if something happened, and I just didn't go see it. But I like how in the trailers they well, from what I've seen, it's like they went back to kind of like the old how they used to look.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They look like kind of older, a little bit more boxy.
Yeah.
I like that. I fuck with that.
Right.
I
Yeah,
love
no,
when
because they no, sorry, you go.
I love when like people that's like make these franchises, they do something like nods to their fans who like been tapped in for like a long time. I love when you see that when I see shit like that.
Yeah, nah, me too. Because I noticed it for the first time in the Bumblebee movie that came out like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Because that was when I was like, oh, they kind of made him look like he did in like the really really old cartoons. And then the other reason I love the new ones, or I don't know if I loved it, but I really really enjoyed it. Was I'm a Beast Wars kid. Like Beast Wars is my first exposure to Transformers. Like me and my girl both love Beast Wars. So the both and my girl hates Transformers for reasons I won't get into on here, but she loves Beast Wars. And she saw that they were making a Beast Wars one, and she's like, "All right, I'll go see that." So we decided, so we decided to go check it, and like we both finished it and looked at each other. We were like, "That was really good," you know. Like I might have liked that one on like a story level, like that was one that was like a full package type of movie for me in the sense where like I enjoyed it for the visuals, I enjoyed it for watching the robots and seeing like Michelle Yeoh is the Eagle robot, and like fucking Gorilla Prime is there, and he goes crazy. Um, like that might have been the one that I enjoyed the most since what was the first one with Mark Hamill? That was like super duper Americana. And then like and then like it had the guy in there who was talking about the Romeo and Juliet laws because he wanted to fuck his underage daughter.
Shit, I don't know. I jumped on at Shia LaBeouf. That's when I jumped on.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was the first one. I think it was the fourth one. I just can't remember the name. But either way, like that was like I really enjoyed that one for some reason. Cuz it might have been the one with the Transformer who his face was a gun, and I just love what was his name? It was one of the ones where a bunch of them came from Cybertron to like get Prime, and one of them hit like his face turned into a rifle, and it took like 20 seconds for it to unfurl out of his face, and just like the detail in the rifle when it's coming out of his face is so crazy, and it was just so ill. I don't know, like I'm big on just like watching the Transformers transform, you
Yeah,
know, and like I love the fact that those movies like really emphasize that in a way that a lot of the other shows didn't or like couldn't, because of like, you know, like technology limitations, and like special effects were only so good back in the 90s, but like they you could tell they put all their money into those effects.
yeah,
And I
like all the little
really
cogs and switches and all that kind of. Yeah, they are,
mhm,
especially when they go from like right from being like whatever they were, and then it's just like this big dramatic ass transformation. Like the first time Optimus Prime pop up in a movie, it's
yeah.
always like the best transformation ever. And yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, no, and then he just stands there, and then he says Autobots roll out, and like
just
like that might as well just be the movie, you know, like you like that's what I paid to see, you know.
man, Optimus Prime, dude. That nigga, and then they even said it was a joke like right after he gave the speech, and one of the Autobots was like, "You just want to die for him," like because of his
and
speeches.
And it's just like, God damn, like, you know, like it's just nothing else to say.
He's like, "You just
Like,
want to die for the guy."
yeah, no, some like real cheese, but like it worked, you know. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly the scene you're talking about, and it just works. I don't know how they manage, but they manage.
Because the movies be
Excuse
funny
me.
too. They be real. The
Yeah,
Transformers movie be funny as fuck too.
yeah, nah, like it's a yeah, no, like yeah, no, like those movies are a good time. I think I haven't watched a lot of the older ones in a while. Like I haven't seen the first three since they first came out, but I've seen like a couple others recently, and honestly, I think people were a little hard on them. They're not the best movies ever, but like they did what they needed to do. It's Michael Bay shit. It is what it is. I've seen worse movies. I've seen worse movies.
I don't understand because whenever I say that, people always be like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's my favorite franchise."
Yeah, hey man, it's all good, you know. Like everyone's different, you know. There was a period of time where Space Jam was my favorite movie ever. And, you know, like I know like that's a movie that a lot more people tend to hold a little closer to their hearts than something like Transformers sometimes. But like, you know, like everyone's different, and it's all good. Like if you like it, you like it, and it's whatever, you know. It's
Yeah,
once
Space Jam
again,
was
there's worse shit to like. Like,
yeah, Space Jam was fire too. So
yeah, yeah, iconic, man. I wasn't really fucking with the new one, like at all,
I didn't even see
really.
it. I had no desire to see it for real. It's just like stop remaking shit. Just
Yeah,
stop remaking. Make something new.
yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, nah. I just saw like maybe 2 hours before we hopped on, they announced that they're putting out a new Mean Girls.
Like for what? I mean, I don't know. I guess Barbie did good, so they was like, "Oh shit, let's bring
Yeah.
back all the old shit."
So like so like I looked into it, and the only reason I'm giving the Mean Girls one a pass is because they're adapting the musical they made of the movie from 2018. So it's not like they're just like remaking the movie like it's not technically an adaptation of the movie. It's an adaptation of the musical that adapted the movie. So it's like kind of different, and there's gonna be songs in it, and it's at least like a different approach, kind of. But like either way, I don't want to see it. Like,
a
you know,
lot
like
of the
me,
shit that a lot of the shit that they remaking isn't even really old enough to be remade. I think.
right? Like it's kind of crazy because Mean Girls like Mean Girls turns 20 next year, so it's about like if that were to happen. like I get, because like nostalgia works in 20-year cycles. I get it, but like Mean Girls is so iconic. Like everybody, like even if you don't like the movie, like you've seen it, you know the references, you know she doesn't go here, you know it's October 3rd, you know, Get In Loser, We're Going Shopping. It's like one of those, you know, that like it's in, even if you've never seen it, you know about it through osmosis. Like you know the jokes, you know the plot, you know everything about it. Like it's just there, you know. Like,
I
and
just
we don't really have many of those anymore. Like those like unifying like reference point type things, and Mean Girls is one of those, you know.
the only thing I like about Mean Girls is Rachel McAdams. That's the only thing I liked about that movie.
Yeah,
Cause go ahead.
no, you finish your thought.
That was it. It was the Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I mean, she's Rachel McAdams. I totally get it. Yeah, I like yeah. Once again, Mean Girls, not my favorite movie ever, but I've seen it. It's very good, but like it's not like it's not a movie I hold super duper close to my heart. Like I know everything about it, but it's not one of those that like I'm never at a point in my life where I'm like I want to go watch Mean Girls. You know, like if somebody puts it on, I'll watch it. But I'm never like I never go out my way to do it. Like I'm not gonna be like let me go watch Mean Girls today. You know, it's not one of those.
Yeah.
But so you know, like as you get older and you start to have more life experiences, and just kind of like you know like expand your palette and shit. Was there a movie you saw that really spoke to you and like connected with you on like a in like a artistic, emotional, or spiritual sense? Like not you know like not even like just like something that was like a capital M movie for you. Like you watched it and you were just like, this is an experience. Like something that really hit you on just like some more than just like this is 90 minutes of entertainment. Let me throw it on, cool type shit.
Soul.
Ooh, yeah. The Jamie Foxx joint?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, dude. That movie hit me like that shit right here. Every time I watch it. Like every single time I watch it. That movie, man, I dare say it's one. It might. Nah, it's not top. It's top five. It's top five. I love that movie. It's just that. I mean, just for obvious reasons. But man,
Yeah.
that shit touches my soul. Pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit was so I like the movie. I thought Jamie Foxx was great in it. I love his whole like I love everything about his relationship with his mom and like him kind of struggling between like being the jazz teacher and then wanting to play in the band, and like him kind of coming to grips with what it means to be successful. Like I relate to that a ton. My big issue with the movie was that they did him like they did Princess Tiana in Princess and the Frog, and they had him be the cat for 60% of the movie. And you know, like you know, like they did the whole thing where it's like, oh, this is the first Pixar movie with a black lead character, and then he's a cat for 75%. And I'm just like, okay, but it's still really affecting, like really like you know, just like the whole idea of like the soul and like the afterlife and like all like it's really really interesting, and it's a Pixar movie. Like they like they're not quite as bulletproof as they were before, but like I got caught up in it, you know, like. And let me tell you my favorite. I wasn't expecting this when I first saw it, but there's the bit. You remember the bit where they're on the boat and they're like floating through like the soul world, and they
Mhm.
say like, "Oh yeah, you know, like you know, like we can like fuck with shit in the real world, and like we can like fuck with people's souls sometimes." And like they see this one who's got like a basketball, and they're just and the person's just like, oh yeah, I've been fucking with this dude, I've been fucking with this team for years, and then they like throw the ball away, and then it
And it's the
cuts to like
Knicks.
it's the Knicks. I was like that got me. I was like, okay. I was
That
like,
was
yeah,
hilarious because every Knicks fan was probably like, man, what the fuck?
Oh man, yeah, they were. That was real nice. That was really fucking cool.
Man, that shit was that movie that it was. What was my favorite? I love the barbershop scene. That shit was fire.
Oh yeah, the one where
Donnell
he was
Rawlings.
talking to right. Oh, that was Donnell Rawlings. Yeah, yeah. No,
I
they're
love.
just like and it. Yeah,
No, I loved it because I mean they did do the big fuss about like oh it's a black lead character, but that it was like they did it, but they weren't corny about it. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like that's when I initially started watching. I'm like I hope they don't do no like just I hope they don't try to like go overboard. But it was so tasteful.
Yeah, nah. That scene in particular was really cool. And yeah, just like him cutting the hair and like, yeah, because what's it called? The Tina Fey's character is like in his body at that point too, right? I think I can't
Hmm.
remember. I only seen it once, but yeah, like she's just like he's like trying to explain all that to yeah, like that's a good scene. I love the scene where like she's in his body and he's in the cat and he's telling her what to say to his mom. Like that was like yeah, like just stuff like that and like the soundtrack's really beautiful. John Batiste is he's perfectly suited to do stuff like that. Let me put it that way. He did his shit. It was yeah like you said tasteful. Tasteful is definitely the word. Like that like like at its best that's a really tasteful movie. I only saw it the one time it came out on Disney Plus, and I've actually been meaning to revisit it because I feel like I might have been a little hard on it, but like yeah like yeah like the stuff a lot of it really did tug at my heart, especially
Yeah,
especially the stuff between the parents. Like that's very relatable.
yeah, that's it, man. And then like when he got lost when he was playing the piano and he just got completely lost in it's like that, man. Yeah, that's that. It was just beautiful. And then they like he like laid all of the stuff out that the little soul was like carried that she was just like she had a donut or some like no, she
Yeah,
just picking up random shit and he like laid it out on the piano and just started going crazy on the piano. That shit was so fire.
man. Um, I mentioned this on another. I mentioned this maybe twice so far on the podcast, but I'm gonna recommend it because it's fire and everyone should see it. If you like that, there's this other joint that came out this year called Blue Giant. It's an anime movie, or why did I say anime movie? It's an anime about a bunch of Japanese kids who form a jazz band. It's like not like all the performance scenes are kind of similar to the ones in Soul where like he's at the piano and he kind of gets lost in the zone. They do that, but it's like three dudes on piano, sax, and drums, and like every performance number is just like them, like it looks like how it would look if like Goku and Vegeta were fighting in Dragon Ball Z, but they've all
Hmm.
got instruments and they're just like doing it. It's super ill, and the music's gorgeous. Yeah, like it might be hard to find, but like if you can find Blue Giant, go watch that because it like that's my favorite movie I've seen all year. I've been thinking about it constantly.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta check it out.
Mm. Um, but let's run over to the music side with you real quick. When did music become capital M music for you? Like when did it go from being something like passive in the background to like music? Like this is that shit, you know?
Well, everybody knows the story of why I started rapping, but
Yeah.
um, I think when I think 'cause I'm terrible with dates, but when I want to say 2013, yeah, around like 2013, where I dropped my first like real mixtape called Cleverland. That was when it got. That was when it just got for real for me. That was when it was just like, all right, this is what I want to do. Like, cause I hadn't taken it this serious up until then. It was just I was just doing it just to like people around me locally to be entertained. But around that time, my first mixtape Cleverland is when I for sure was like, all right, this is what I want to do.
Right. When did like even like even before Cleverland came out, like what was like what were you listening to at that time? Cause I mean like you're from Ohio, and Ohio has a very, like y'all have like a lot of legends that have come out of Ohio, like between like Bone Thugs and like Chip the Ripper and Kid Cudi, obviously. Like there's like, like y'all got some giants that come from out there, and I feel like people don't think about it in that sense. But like, like what were you listening to? Like what was some of your like first exposure like to rap music, and like what about it really kind of like animated you?
But my first when I fell in love with rap was when after I listened to Train of Thought by Reflection Eternal, Talib Kweli and High Tech.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a crazy album.
That was when that was when I first, and that was back when we was when cassettes. My dad had a cassette of that, and I had like this big ass in my at my grandmother's house. It was like this big ass tape deck thing. Like it was huge, bro. It was like you can't see that see that brown heater.
Yeah.
It was like the size of that, but
God
it was
damn.
yeah, and it was a tape player thing. And I ran that tape back just a million times. I was obsessed with the album. So that was definitely what did it for me. Cause that was the first tape I ever went to my dad and was like, "Can I borrow this? Like, can I please?" And that he actually let me have because he was like a music head and he had all of this crazy ass music and stuff. So yeah, that's definitely what did it for me.
That's hard. I relate because yeah, my dad's also a big music head and just had CDs and tapes all over the place. So like, but yeah, like, and also before I forget, I just want to shout out High Tech just randomly because like niggas don't talk about High Tech ever. He's so dope. Like he's been dope forever. I don't know if you heard Damo Genesis's Red Corolla mixtape when that came out, maybe like 4 or 5 years back, but he's got one of my favorite beats on that tape. And like I don't know, like I just feel like High Tech's somebody that people don't really talk about anymore, and he's somebody that I had a lot of appreciation for, like when I was first starting to really get into rap shit too. So yeah, just shout out to High Tech. He's great. He's crazy with it.
Hell yeah, yeah. I wanna work with him one day.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised you haven't at this point, honestly. Like you're there, bro. Like
We we got to make it happen. Maybe next time around. Hopefully next
yeah,
time
no,
around.
yeah, no, no. Tell Alex to get him on the phone.
I, I will. I think I said that. I think I tweeted that one. Like not tweeted. I put it on my IG story. Like somebody, whatever has to happen for me to work with High Tech needs to happen immediately.
Hell yeah. I love that shit. Before we really start to dig into the music proper, um, I realize I haven't like formally asked this question of a lot of people in a while, but like for you, was there like kind of taking your experiences with film and music into consideration? Was there ever a time when you consciously noticed that like that like film and music are two things that could complement each other? Like, and that could come in like any form, whether it's like a needle drop in a movie, or like or just like how like a music video can like give, it doesn't have to be either of those two things, but like was there ever a time when you kind of noticed that those two things complement one another?
Um, Not in my music, but um, when me and my homie Nuke was working on his album because I produced a lot of his album.
Yeah.
Um, like a lot of times we would start like start working on songs for the album, and he would like it would be like a movie that he was obsessed with, and he would just be like, "Think of this movie when you make this." Like,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? I'm off in how I'm explaining it, but like it was kind of like he wanted to score movies with the album. Like each song he wanted to be a score to a movie.
that's tough.
And yeah, that was probably one of the first because that was like just a real unique take on like making an album.
So did he tell you which movie? Like, did he have a movie in mind? Which one?
I'm not gonna. I'm well. Yeah, I forget. I'll say it. American Psycho.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting. Wow.
Yeah,
That's a vibe right there. Like that's like a real specific vibe. Like you took me there right now.
American Psycho. He was like, think about this movie, and I hadn't seen it until he had told me about it. Until he mentioned it. So then I watched it, and then yeah, just
Wow.
scoring movies.
So okay, so okay, so since I haven't heard this project, what do beats inspired by American Psycho sound like? That's like because like all I'm thinking is Patrick Bateman chopping dude up while listening to Huey Lewis in the news.
You would have to hear it, man, but it's like real. It's like super. And I'm just really excited for his album. Just to take the attention off me for a second because it's like there's a lot of trip hop on there, and
Hey, love that.
and you don't really hear that too much. But like he was like we when originally when it started, it was like a full trip hop album, and and then but then we over the course of the years we just switched it up a little bit, but it was like trip hop. That's basically how I could sum it up. What it sounded like.
That's hardcore. Wow, I like that. So like, so so when did you when did you start producing? Because like I know you produced, and I but like I also feel like you don't like talk about that very often. Like when did that first start?
It started out of necessity when I was when I first started. I just was just like couldn't find nobody to give me no beats,
Yeah.
or and the people that was sending me beats, I didn't like none of them because I'm just like a beat snob. So I just started making my own. I couldn't trust nobody to make nothing fire, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just make this shit myself.
What was the first beat you made that you felt like confident and comfortable enough to be like this is mine. I did this. I could do this. I could give this to somebody. I could use it myself.
Well, I had like moments, I had like shining moments before this, but it was a beat called "Revenge of the Nobodies" that was on a old mix, like a old mixtape of mine, and then the mixtape that I mentioned earlier, Cleverland.
Yep.
I produced that whole shit, and most of those beats was amazing. And I man, if I hated how I sounded on that project, but the beats was fire.
Why did you hate how you sounded on it?
I wasn't familiar with my voice, or I wasn't even as inclined now to know that I need to use my voice better. So, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't as much feeling as it is, like as I've come to use now for real. So I couldn't stand my voice because I just didn't know how to deliver shit for real.
Mm, that makes sense. I get it. I get it. So like like comparing Cleverland to a project like Dirty Face Angel, like how do you feel about how do you feel you changed between Cleverland and Dirty Face Angel? Cause like going back through your older stuff, like that's the one that really connected with me the most. Like I really fuck with that project a lot.
Man, we got rid of that bitch. We snatched that bitch smooth off the internet. I would say I had more direction on Dirty Face Angel, but I still wasn't there yet. It still wasn't there yet. Dirty Face Angel had moments where it was just like, hell yeah, like this is it. But for the most part, just nah.
Did you produce any joints on Dirty Face Angel or not?
I think I made like two or three joints on there. I know I
Okay.
made what is that shit called? Back in the day. I couldn't even tell you, but I'm like two or three of them I produced.
Got you. Okay. And like like you kind of go through this point where like obviously like you're rapping and producing. You put out a handful of projects, including Cleverland and Dirty Face Angel. Eventually RTC and Closed Sessions come into the picture. So like when did that happen? And like and if I remember, like correct me if I'm wrong, but Home was the first project you put out on Closed Sessions. Is that right?
No, Dirty Face Angel.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It was
Okay.
dirty. No,
So
no.
yeah,
The confusion is because I we dropped Dirty Face Angel and then I left and then I came back with
got it. Got it. Got it. So like at this point, when did Closed Sessions come into the picture, and how did you feel about the music you were making at that time? Oh, I mean, like you've already kind of said it, but like when did like just like talk to me about where your head's at the point when Closed Sessions is like, hey, like let's work.
So now this is interesting because in between Dirty Face Angel and a lot of shit happened. Like just a lot of shit happened. And like from from the time I left Closed Sessions, and it wasn't like no bad blood or nothing like that. It was just, you know, niggas was just trying some new shit. But I left and my manager at the time, uh we was kind of going in separate directions. Like he had shit going on, I had shit going on. And so like from the time I left to about like midway through, I was just completely dolo. It was just me and actually just me and Ryan.
Yeah.
And like I'm working on this album, working on this album, working on this album. And like I said, halfway through it's just me. Like and I so now I'm the only person that has anything to say about the music, how it's made, how it sound, whatever the fuck. It's just like completely all just my judgment. And then I finally finished the album and I sent it to Ryan. He was like, let's see what Close Sessions talking about. And I was,
Yeah.
and I, in my head, even though again it was no bad blood, I'm just thinking like, I don't think they're gonna. Why would they do that? Like they wouldn't give a fuck about me coming back with no fucking album. Sure enough, sent the album to Alex, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." And here we go. So by the time I came back to Closed Sessions, was when I actually was like fully confident in myself and fully confident in my music. And
Man.
it showed,
And
and it proved that I was right for not being confident in my music because Ohm did great compared to everything else before that.
right.
So that was just like that was the validation I needed because the DFA wasn't confident in it when I dropped it. Pretty much nothing before that was never really super confident in it. But Ohm, that was the first one where I was like nuts on the table. This shit is fire. Let's put it out. Let's get it. Like that was the first time I ever felt like that.
Heard that. That's crazy. And yeah, no, like it makes sense because like I said before, like Home was my first like real exposure to you, and just like you know like like your stuff, like your music is so. I'm trying to think of like what to say. Like your style of writing is like so thoughtful and like really, really like interior to me. Like I always like to say that you like rap in sepia tone. Like there's just like there's so much in and like once again to kind of get at ideas I was making before. Like there's so much in your writing, but you you just condense a lot of ideas and a lot of thoughts and a lot of emotions into like very tight spaces, and like your writing is really tight in that way, and you say a lot with it, like you say a lot without saying. You never say too much. Like you say exactly what you need to say, and don't like you don't like flex, as much as you like as much as a lot of other people might about like the way you handle language, if that makes sense. Like you're just like very kind of like direct and forward about what you do. And like
Mm.
hearing a song like hearing a song like fucking World Be Trash, for example, because that's just one that came to my head. Just like that song is just like that and the Mick Jenkins song were the two that really connected with me when I first heard Ohm. And, like just because I'm curious, like, you said that this project was the first time you truly felt confident in your style, but like, what's like can you like break that down to a specific song? Like, was there like one specific song where like you wrote it out, recorded it, and were like, that's the one, like this is it?
Everything. The song Everything.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Like even though, and I was closer towards the end of the album. So like that was like one of the last songs that I made for the album. But
Mm-hmm.
the way everything came together was like it was just instantly when I finished it, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite song. Like this is for sure my favorite song. But then the more I listened to it and then heard it in the context of the album, I'm like, oh yeah, this album I like it just made me like the album more. Because it was between Everything and Pedestal. Because
Mm-hmm.
Pedestal was like I was just again I was just by myself in the basement. So I was just trying shit, and I wasn't thinking about who was gonna like it or who was gonna feel how people was gonna feel when they heard it. So like it was really just me and like two and uh, three other people, but it was all up to me. Like it was all just you know what I'm saying. So Everything and Pedestal just made me just be like, yeah, I finally figured it out. I finally figured out how to use my voice. I finally figured out how to like explain shit and just a lot of my writing capabilities came from just the time where I was working on.
Right. Yeah, no, I can see that because you look at Ohm and you look at like Fago Baby and you look at everything you did with this new project and like like these, like I'm actually happy you said that because like these projects are very much like they like they really do feel like it's just like you and a page, like just like it really does feel like you just pulled these out of your brain on some like Forge from X-Men shit, because like his whole like like it's just these are like this is your shit is very raw in that way. Like it's not like fatalistic or like over the top or anything crazy, but it's just like people say like raw thoughts, like these are raw thoughts, like it's just
Mhm.
like raw thoughts put to rhyme in a way that I can't really say about very many people. Like I can feel, like I feel everything you're saying, like like really feel it, and not like, oh, I feel you. It's like I get what you're trying to convey, you know, and that's a difficult and like exhausting thing to do, like especially like as often as you do it, like because like once again, like Fago Baby and 66689 Boulevard Prequel, like these are all like what kind of like where the wild things are. Like for me, like I got to be in a space to listen to these albums. Like this isn't like casual listening for me. Like I'm not about to be running a lot of this while I'm like at the grocery store type shit.
Yeah, fuck
Like
no. You just be fucking standing in the produce section, just looking off into nowhere, just like,
staring at a lemon, just like what is
yeah,
my life type
what
shit.
the fuck is wrong with him?
But obviously that's not to like but like your work's not like dour or anything crazy like that. It's not like it's like like there's like life to it. Like I can sense where you're from. I can sense what you're going through, and like like I feel good listening to it. It's not like it's like it's not like it's trying to think of like a parallel. Like when I listen to Ka, I'm like paralyzed. Like I
Mm,
can't do shit when I'm listening to Ka. Like
mm,
like like with you, like there's, like I said, there's life and motion. especially on this new project. So, like, because to me, this new joint feels, like this feels even more accomplished than all the other stuff that came before it. So, two questions. Where did the idea to do this one come from? And what is this a prequel to, son?
Uh, the idea came from. It started out because the project was gonna be called Kyocera K132. Um,
Uh-huh.
and that was like my old flip phone that I had like when I was in high school. And I somehow, because I couldn't come, I was writing, I was just writing just to write. And then I was like, when I couldn't come up with nothing, I started like doodling and shit just because I was bored. And I drew the Kyocera K132.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the fuck my mind took me, but somehow I got to on the way, like texting on the way, or like
Mm-hmm.
the abbreviation OTW. And I just was like looking at that picture, and I was like, OTW is six. You have to type 666 O 8 T 9 W, and then I had already had the idea for Boulevard the album, like how I want to do it, but I don't have the money or the resources to like properly execute that shit right now. So in the meantime, we get the Boulevard prequel, the 666 A 9 on the way to Boulevard. And then to play on Boulevard, like Boulevard being like a place, you know what I'm saying? Like, or a street, a specific street. Because everybody thinks it's an address, but it's like all of that is intentional, is what I'm saying. It's just like it's all we on the way to this.
Right. And it's like that's crazy to me because now have you seen the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse that came out earlier this year?
Mm-mm.
So without spoiling it, I mean, as much as I like the movie, my big issue with it was like it's a part two because like they're clearly about to make a part three. And like the way it ends, like it ends on a cliffhanger, but in a way where all I could, like as much as I enjoyed it, all I could think was like, like, is this still going to be as good as it is now after the third one comes out? Like, is this a movie strong enough to stand on its own outside of a trilogy? You know, and I didn't get that listening to this project. Like even considering that it's a prequel and that you have bigger and better ideas for this concept coming in the future, like this doesn't feel like a demo or like half baked or like there's no cliffhanger here, at least not one that I can suss out. Like just like for me, just like this feels fully realized and like its own thing without being attached to whatever might come next, if that makes sense. And that's a tough thing to do, considering that you're being like once again you're being real upfront about your intentions with this and like what you want this to be, and it feels like its own self-contained world in that way. Just like from like your writing to the production to like there's an atmosphere you've created here that feels very like it feels very like 9:47 p.m. on a Thursday, and you just grabbed like a biggie bag from Wendy's and pulled over and are eating it on the hood of your car and thinking about your life. You
That
know,
was mad. That was mad specific.
yeah, like that's what it does for me, bro. It took me there, just like being in a parking lot and like eating dinner because you just like out and about and busy and shit. And like it takes me there. Like that's what I think of when I listen to this project. And the song that really grabbed me, or rather, like another thing that really grabbed me about this is like this is like it's got like a lot of your like fiercest and like most intense rapping on it too. I'm not used to you rapping the way you do on like Kill the Father. Like that's such a crazy closer to me, because like I think about it in the sense of like it isn't quite this intense, but it gave me the same feeling that Pasta did from the new Mick Jenkins album. Like I've never heard him scream like that before. And like not that you're screaming on this, but like this is like, like you sound like, for lack of a better word, you sound like awake. You sound like you just like somebody just like woke you up out of your sleep and you needed to get this on the mic before you lost it in your brain. Like it's got that sense of urgency to it. And on top of that, like the song kind of ties up all the themes of the album. Like it really does feel like it feels like a in conclusion song, like that's like it's got that to it. So talk to me about making that song and putting that together in that way, and why you felt it was necessary to close it out with that one, because like that does feel like a deliberate, like I'm closing this out motherfucker's choice.
Yeah. It was originally, it was going to be a lot slower and a lot more somber, but the Kill the Father is actually the like all the questions and all the shit that I said in the intro is like basically answering all of that. So
Yeah, see, that's
so
tight.
like yeah, like so everything in the intro where I talk about all of these because I mentioned all the people that I like case study, but it's like, I left little like Easter eggs for everybody that who I mentioned in the, what I'm saying, who was a case study for the project. And then at the end of it, um, is where I touch, and I either it was dope because when I put the album out, two of the people who I mentioned, like who was the framework for all of this shit, we sat down and we just listened to a bunch of songs and shit like that. And I sat them down and like showed them. It was special for me. I don't know how the fuck they felt about it, but and I was like, yeah, on this part I was talking about you. On this part I was talking about you. On this part I was talking about this nigga. On this part I was talking about him. It's like the same thing for the intro. Like I started the intro,
Yeah,
I'm talking about these people and all of this shit, and then I kind of answer it on the outro. So I thought that was pretty dope, and that's why the intro sounds like that for real. Because I wanted it, I didn't want to leave it open ended, and I wanted this project to be super super heavy, like a heavy listen without being like sad and depressing. Just because the vision that I have for Boulevard, the actual album, if you were to if you stayed on the ride long enough, then you would listen to Boulevard Prequel and listen to that and be like, damn, like this, he's come a long way from that. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the plan, is to basically see the growth. Like it's basically charting the growth. Like when you put the thing on the wall and pencil
Yeah,
up
and then
your
knocks it
head.
with the pencil, yeah, type shit, yeah.
That's basically what this is.
Damn. So, like that's another thing, is like that's so intricate. Like these are like obviously like these are things that like I might not necessarily know about because I don't know the people you're talking about. But like, like your style, I feel like laid back's the wrong way to describe like the way your voice sounds to me, but like you're very like laid back and relaxed, but like it's like those don't feel like the right words. You're like it's just kind of like static in a way where it's like you kind of you kind of keep like a consistent tone to the point where it might seem like you're laid back and relaxed, but like you listen to what like if anybody who like listens to what you're talking about, it's just like it almost feels like you're holding back sometimes, and then stuff like Kill the Father is like, oh, like that's where he could go, that's where he could take it, like it's like there's like a sense of whiplash that comes with your music, because like your writing and your reference points and your concepts are so intricate, but you present it as just kind of like, once again, it's direct and forward and like not rushed, and you're just kind of it just it's just kind of like a take it as is, and that makes it almost more impressive because it's like you're so contained but you just like created your own little city in a bottle. You know, like every Kipp Stone project feels like a city, and like you know how like in the Superman comics there's like the city the Superman couldn't save, so he like puts it in a bottle and like goes. It's like that, you know, like like you can see like there's just like these little dioramas that I can tell that you put a lot of effort into putting together and like making super intricate. You know, it's almost like, all right, I like, okay, I promise I'm gonna stop nerding out after this. It's like building Gundams. You ever build a Gundam figure before?
Yeah.
Like I've been on a kick with that for like a year and a half. I got a kid under my bed I gotta finish actually, but like there's like so much, once again, like going back to the Transformer shit, there's like so much detail and
Mm.
so many little moving parts to what you do that like, it's the type of thing that like you might not get that on like that's the type of thing that makes you go back and want to like see all the moving parts, like there's I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling and I wish I was articulating myself a bit more, but like it's just
It's for me, my style of writing is like because I mean you hit the nail on the head for real. But my style of writing, simplify, is I pride myself in even outside of music, just being a great, like an effective communicator.
yeah,
Because that's something that my homegirl on the who basically narrated the project,
right,
like
yeah, through the phone, yeah,
that's the kind of shit that she taught me, is that like I'm like that I'm basically supposed to be like a communicator. Like that's my job, to be like a philosopher or a communicator. So
right,
it's so like whether in music or in life, I'm always gonna pride myself on being an effective communicator. In a way, like I purposely outline all these like super intense ass topics, but like being super calm about it. It's just like, to me, it's just like if you screaming in my face and just yelling, "Ah, la, 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 la," and I'm just sitting here talking to you like this. I, 9 times out of 10, somebody that's watching this interaction, they not listening to you. They listening to me because I'm so reserved and calm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so and I, God damn it, it worked because that was you know what I'm saying? That was the goal. The goal was to just be talking about this shit in such a just matter of fact kind of way where it just draws that much more attention to it because I'm not yelling or because it's not super animated, or you know what I'm saying?
right.
So yeah.
Yeah, totally. And like not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because like because like plenty of my favorite rappers are like super duper out there and zany and crazy with it. But as I get older, I'm noticing more and more that like a lot of like a lot of my like newer favorites, and like even stuff that like I'm just like going back and like appreciating older stuff that I used to love in a new way. Like people just like people who can just like break these complex things down into like really simple, not like easy to parse, but just like just like simpler and like blunter and more direct ways. Like that's like 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 as much as I love like a crazy rhyme scheme and like triple entendres that like I have to listen to a song 6 times to get, or like I can like pride myself on guessing it within the second. Like I love a good puzzle, but at the same time, like you said, like I love a direct communicator. I love somebody who can like put forth an idea in a way that's fly and cool, but they don't feel the need to try to go over your head. That's the thing about you. You're not trying to go over people's heads. Like you're not on some if you know type shit, which is, once again, nothing wrong with that. But like like you're not trying to go over people's heads. You're trying to get right at the heart. You're trying to get right at the emotion. You're trying to get right at them. Like you're trying to meet them on a clear eye level. And
Yeah.
like not a lot of people do that. So like especially not now. Like I like whether it's references in terms of like, whether it's in terms of like talking about stuff that only they can afford, or stuff that only they understand, or like creating a language and having to like decode it and work your way to them, which once again, super cool. It's just always refreshing to me when people manage to just be direct and forward with people and still have it land in the way that something like just because I was listening to his music last night, like I love Elzai, but you're not Elzai. You know, like you're not trying to like crack the rhyming genome. Like you're here to tell a story and to have as many people get that as possible.
Yeah,
And I got a lot of respect for that.
I'm not trying to like outsmart nobody for real. Like it's like
Right.
I'm not really like I'm not really trying to sound smart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I don't think I'm that goddamn smart. But like I I'm not trying to confuse nobody. I'm not trying to jump through no hoops or nothing like that when I'm rapping. I mean, I can do that, but
Right.
most of the times I choose it because I always try to have like a performance on every project I do where it's just a rap performance. And
Yeah.
I tried to do that with Pacifist Prayer, but it kind of ended up being just like an actual song versus just a blackout session. I mean, I kind of did it on 18 the Hard Way too,
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say 18 the hard way is definitely that too. Yeah.
yeah, I'm always gonna put that in projects and stuff like that. But this time I kind of just looked back and was like looked at the rapping performances like, oh damn, you kind of did do some rapidy rapping on here, but that's never really been my goal. I'm not really trying to rap at people, and I'm definitely not trying to like like I said, jump through no hoops because especially when you have something to say. Like I actually got something to say, and I want people to hear it. So I'm not about to try to.
Right.
In my head, I'm just not trying to confuse nobody or have people looking at me like, oh, here you go with these big ass words and doing all this because that shit just, in my experience, it's cool sometimes, but then sometimes it's just like, all right, dude, we get it. You smart.
Yeah, no, you don't always want to have to think about why he said loquacious
Yeah.
that one time.
Yeah,
But
dude. Like, ain't
nah,
nobody that shit because that shit just get after a while it just sound like you speaking another fucking language.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
no knock to nobody that do that, but that's just not my
Right.
style for real.
Yeah, I get it. You know, it's like it's a time and a place for that, you know, and like the people who do it well do it really, really well. But it's and then like I think about people like Billy Woods because like he's somebody who like he can be that but also be super direct and forward and like do it all at the same time. You know, like he's someone who's like incredibly smart, but he can also just like talk about fucking every team that James Harden's been on and like mix all like he's really regular in the sense that like he's very smart and well read, but he's just like you can tell that he's just a regular person, you know. And I think like like you're just like you're just really good at just like once again it's just like raw thoughts, like this is just kind of like you're giving you're somebody I feel like really gives like people talk about like putting like putting it all on the floor and like putting it all on the record, like you like there's like no fat, there's no filler, there's like nothing to cut from your records, like your shit's like very lean in that way. And I appreciate and you're like I appreciate you being like I appreciate you being honest and brave enough to just kind of make your shit lean, because like it's very easy to like hide behind a reference, it's very easy to hide behind a rhyme scheme, like there are a lot of people who put in dope rhyme schemes and are just they're not saying nothing, and that's fine. Like if like technique is, some people only care about technique, and I'm not one of those people. Like technique is becoming less impressive to me when it's not in the service of a thing being said. Not that that thing has to be like smart or intelligent or thoughtful. Like you could be talking about dumb shit, but if it sounds cool and you make it all work the way you need to, great. But like like you've been talking a lot about confidence and kind of finding yourself as an artist, and that's very apparent here. Like 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 this, like this, and this and Fago Baby really do feel like you listen to these two and like you get this is Kipp Stone. Like you kind of like put yourself in a project in like not like a cliche way, and I
Yeah.
fuck with that.
I've been working at that for a minute, man, because I've never really felt like I said what I really needed to say. And though I am happy with everything I said on this project, I still feel like I got more shit that I just didn't say. It's just, and I guess that's a good place because if I ever stop feeling like that, then
Yeah, then it might
I
be
don't know.
time.
Yeah, because I always said if I ain't got nothing to talk about, I'm not gonna say nothing. Like if I don't got shit to rap about, then I'm not doing it. So
Right. Yeah, yeah, nah, like we can't we can't all be Babytron. We can't all just like pull these incredible one-liners out the air and just like be funny and like effortlessly cool all the time. Like we can't all do that. But like if this ever goes under, you could always just go and like start a YouTube channel for Transformer shit. It's never too late, son. Ever.
for real, I say it for real, man. I want to write a book one day. I think that'd be dope.
That'd be hard.
But I don't. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, if I ain't got nothing to say, I ain't saying shit.
Yeah, nah. I could see you on some you ever see Devil in a Blue Dress? The
Mm-mm,
Denzel movie?
mm-mm.
I'm forgetting. Hang on. I'm gonna look it up. Um Here's the movie because it's based on it's based on a book. It's based on a series of Walter Mosley is the author. So he wrote a series of like he's a black man, wrote a bunch of neo noir books about this detective named Easy Rawlins, and Devil in a Blue Dress is one of them. And I could see you doing like not necessarily like a neo noir type of thing, but like I could see you doing like a just kind of like a slice of life. Like I could see you writing like a slice of life novel,
Mm.
on some like yeah. I mean, like I could see you writing a neo noir. Like it's I could see that happening. So it's cool that you say that. What would you want your book to be about? Like not to put too much pressure on you, but
No, I mean I have it. I know what I want to. What I want to. I guess I'll bookmark it here because I don't be wanting to say nothing
no,
until I do it because I'll be
cool,
scared.
cool,
Like
cool.
as soon as I do it, to the next day somebody be like, "We putting out a book that's blah blah." But
Yeah.
I wanna write a book about like logical fallacies,
Ooh.
like shit, like just shit that people do in arguments or just in life that's just like to like kind of underhanded in a way. It's like one of them is like proof by example.
Yeah.
And that's just like that's like saying that's like the LeBron versus Michael Jordan conversation. Like if you take LeBron and put him in Michael Jordan's era, then he would do this, and this, and it's no real way to prove that.
Right.
So yeah, shit like that.
That'd be tight. Yeah, no, and that kind of, and before we wrap this up, that kind of brings me back to like, to me, I feel like a song like Immortality Project kind of encapsulates that already, you know?
That was off of a book that I read.
See? Yeah, no, exactly. Right. That's, yeah, right. I remember that now. So yeah, like that makes perfect sense to me. Like I'm ready to read that, honestly. Like just off of what you said.
Yeah, maybe one day, man. Hopefully one day.
Yeah, nah, it's the tip of the iceberg for you, bro. Like this is like it's still early. Let's put it that way. It's still early for you. Um,
Yeah.
and Kip, to wrap this all up, if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
Like a specific movie.
It could be a specific movie. It could be an idea you have. Like whatever's easier, whatever comes to mind. You don't got to think about it too hard. if you don't want
That's
to.
yeah. I can't not think about it too hard. That's a great question. I guess I got to think of a character who super relate with. Damn, dude. I don't know that I can answer that question. You stumped me on that one. Hold on.
Oh man.
Give me a second. Let
Yeah,
me look
take
at
your time.
let me look at my little movie library. That's a great question. And of course the shit. Okay, there we go. Life of Pi.
Oh wow. Okay.
Life of Pi.
Damn. So, who would be your Richard Parker? I can't believe I remember the name of the tiger, but who would be your
Just,
Richard Parker?
I, if I had to live this movie, then Richard Parker. I would it would that would just be it. I would just be I would be alone in the middle of the ocean on a fucking life raft with a tie. Like, yeah,
Man, that shit was always so bugged to me because like the I really yeah, like once again, like a movie like a movie I really enjoy just on some like I'm watching this and it looks gorgeous. I love the scene with the bioluminescent fish and like the dream he has. Like that's all great. I was kind of, how do I want to say this? I thought I didn't really like the ending of Life of Pi very much. Just like the whole idea of like him being like, oh yeah, maybe it wasn't real and maybe it was all just like a metaphor for real. I was just like, I'm not a religious person, so I was just like, ugh. Like this is just kind of whatever. But you know, like, I don't want to sound like a hater because I did enjoy the movie. But
no,
you
that's
know,
that shit blew me too though. I feel exactly where you coming from because I was just like, dude, why the fuck would you take all of the mystery and all of the wonder out of that fucking story and be
right,
like, well,
like
maybe this shit didn't happen? Like, what the fuck? Then why did I watch this shit?
yeah, you know, yeah, like I don't need this to be I don't need this to be some religious parable. Like I was all in on it when it was just like bro on the boat with the tiger and all the animals. You know, like that was compelling enough. And then, you know, it was just and then it's just like, oh yeah, he like collects religions and he's like a Christian and a Hindu and a Muslim and I'm like, all right, like what the fuck are we doing here? Like,
Yeah,
you know, but
because I get, I
cool
get,
movie.
I get, I get why they did that. Because it's just like
Yeah.
you, it's kind of like Big Fish, where it's
Yeah,
just like you can decide to like choose all the wonder and shit in the world, or you can just like go with something that's familiar to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can attach yourself with something that you understand better, or you can just completely ignore all of the wonder and shit in the world. So I get that,
right.
but you know,
But I
yeah.
like that though. I like the fact that you chose Life of Pi. I think that's a good choice, and I think that you know, like it's just kind of like, you know, like life throws shit at you. Sometimes you might just like like one time you might just wake up on a boat with a tiger and you got to tame this shit and just like ride it out until you can get some help, you know? Like that's a, you know, like that in and of itself is like I'm like, okay, I'm with that. Like I'm riding with you for that. Like that's cool. And also I'm happy you brought up Big Fish cuz Big Fish is super fire.
Yeah,
Super underrated. Like that was a Tim Burton movie, right?
I think
I
so. Yeah,
think. Yeah,
yeah,
like I don't really check for him like that these days, but Big Fish was a movie that really touched me when I first saw it. It's such a once again gorgeous movie, really great story. Like I love everything about Big Fish. Great movie. But Life of Pi is something I want to go back and rewatch. You remember when the thing that really fucked me up because I saw it with my homie Steve. Shout out to Steve if he's listening. We saw it at the theater when it came out, and I always think back to the scene when the ship first sinks, or like as it's starting to like go down,
hmm
and Pi is swimming through the thing, and like all the animals are like drowning, then like it just gets to him underwater and you see the ship sink. Like I love swimming, but I have a thing with like open water. Like that
The
shit
la-
scares
the
the fuck.
thalassophobia. That's what it's called.
There it is. Yeah. Like I
Thalassophobia.
that shit fucks me up. I'm fucked up on open water, you know, like, and like that, you know, like seeing that on a big screen was just like, you know, like I like felt my chest get tight,
Dude, did you
you
see?
know.
Did you ever see that clip from? It's I never seen the movie, but it's a clip from a movie with like a sea monster.
You got to be more specific than that.
Oh yeah, I know I'm fucking up. Isn't it a way to share your screen on here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, bet. Give me 1 second. I'm about to show it to you.
Okay. And then and now that I'm thinking about it, you ever see the movie Open Water before?
Mm-mm.
So Open Water is a movie from I think like the late 2000s. It's based on a true story. It's about this couple who go on this deep sea diving expedition, and the boat leaves them behind. So they're just like stuck in the water, like literally
Mm-mm.
just like floating in water for 2-3 days, like in suits and shit. And like fish are coming around. Like one of them gets their leg bitten off by a shark, and the whole movie is just them in the middle of the ocean by themselves.
Uh,
And yeah, like it's to this day still one of the scarier things I've ever seen, just because that specific phenomenon is terrifying.
that's why. See, I would. That's why I would pick Life of Pi, but only if I'm guaranteed to survive.
You're guaranteed. Yeah. I don't. No, nobody wants you to die, son. Yeah, you're gonna live. Yo, man, thank you so much. This was so dope. You know, like just like being a fan of yours for a while and really getting to, you know, like I always really appreciate getting a peek inside the, like for artists like you, I always appreciate, or really for everyone in general, but like for the specific type of rap you make specifically, I love getting a peek at that style. And like there's like I said, there's a lot to unpack with all your projects, and I'm looking forward to spending more time with this new one. And like unpack. I know I'm already gonna have like 6 things. I'm gonna go back and re-listen, and there's gonna be 6 things I wish I asked you about. But it's like that's the beauty of it. So like thank you for being here, thank you for coming on, and yeah, I just appreciate it. It means a lot.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.